The crypto market has been booming lately, and so you might be looking for a way to earn your part of the pie for the next bull market. The good news is that today I'll share with you 3 of the best crypto ETFs that you can buy right here in Canada for the long term. And at the end of the video, I'll share with you what would be my asset allocation in every single one of these funds if I had to build my own crypto portfolio with these 3 funds. So without further ado, let's take a look at the first ETF on my list. When we talk about cryptocurrency, we can't not talk about Bitcoin, which is the first ever created crypto, and it is also the world's largest one with a market cap exceeding $1 trillion. And so it is why for the first ETF on this list, I've decided to present to you the best Bitcoin ETF that you can buy in Canada, which is the CI Galaxy Bitcoin ETF with the ticker BTCX.B. With over $700 million of assets under its management, the objective of this fund is simple. It is to give you some exposure to Bitcoin throughout their institutional fund. On your side, if you would decide to invest directly in any type of crypto, for example, the Bitcoin on a crypto exchange such as ShakePay or Coinbase, this would come with quite a lot more risk, notably with the risk of being scammed. In fact, over the past couple of years, we've seen numerous cyber attacks on these platforms that have stolen hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto to numerous of the clients of these platforms. This means that the only way on your side to protect yourself against these potential threats would be to buy a cold wallet, for example, a Ledger Nano X, or to directly buy a part of this ETF that will store all of the crypto that they purchase into different cold wallets. The difference between hot and cold wallets is that with hot wallets, they are directly linked to the internet and they have the potential to being hacked. And so on their side, the cold wallets will all be offline, and so they have less risk of being hacked. And so these types of funds will be directly buying their crypto on hot wallet, and then when they are purchased, they will transfer this crypto to cold wallets. Plus, for the safety of their customers, Purpose Custodian Gemini has insured up to $200 million of their total assets. This allows you to sleep peacefully at night without having the risk to be potentially stolen. However, as any type of crypto investment, this fund will be extremely volatile, where we can see that Purpose is ranking it with some high level of risk, and where we can see that Morningstar on its side is ranking it with some extreme level. It means that this fund will fluctuate a lot depending on the Bitcoin's price, and it means at the same time that you can expect some potential days where your investment will be up by 20% and the next day it could be down by over 40%. Just make sure on your side that you have a great risk tolerance before to invest in this ETF. Nevertheless, since the inception of this fund in 2021, we can see that by investing $10,000 in it, it would now be worth over $13,000 at the moment, or an average annualized return of about 7.7% per year. But recently, it has been able to achieve some incredible return, where over the last year, it has been able to achieve over 150% of total return. And since the beginning of the year, it has been able to achieve about 50% of return, and where over the last 6 months, it has been able to achieve over 140% of total return. This is a perfect example of the great volatility of this ETF. But in that case, why would this Purpose ETF be the best for all Canadians? Well, simply because it is the one with the lowest fees, where we can see that its MER is of about 0.80% per year, or some fees of about $80 per $10,000 invest in it. Plus, at the moment, this fund is trading in Canadian dollars and it is offered for about $13 per share. And so, in my opinion, it is definitely the best Bitcoin ETF that you can buy in Canada. For the second ETF on my list, I pick an ETF that is tracking the second largest crypto in the world, which is the Ether or the Ethereum, with a market cap of about $400 billion. And so I've picked the CI Galaxy Ethereum ETF with the ticker ETHX.B. Once again, I've decided to come back with the Purpose ETF because it is the one also that has the lowest management fees in that category, where on its side it is offering this fund for about 0.77% per year of fees, or $77 per $10,000 invest, compared to the Purpose fund that is trading at 1.50% of fees, or about $150 per year of fees on an investment of $10,000. Just like for the Bitcoin ETF, this fund seeks to give great exposure to their shareholders to the Ether, aka the Ethereum crypto. In my personal opinion, if you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, it is a wise option for you to invest in both Bitcoin and Ethereum because both are pretty complementary. And so it is why I believe that both of these cryptos are giving you great advantages on both sides that can help you also to diversify your overall portfolio. The problem with the vast majority of the smaller cryptos is that 90% of them are pretty much scam where many people are losing a ton of money on it. But the positive point about these two cryptos is that they are considered as some strong value cryptos on the long term that could help you to grow your overall portfolio in this extremely volatile market. In any ways, this fund that has seen the day 1 month before the Bitcoin ETF currently has over $700 million of assets under its management. And despite being underperforming the Bitcoin ETF over the past couple of months, we can see that since its inception on the market, it has been able to outperform it with some total return of over 20%. And so it means that over the last 3 years, it would have transformed your initial $10,000 investment to over $16,500 at the moment. And so even if it has only returned about 100% since 1 year, about 50% since the beginning of 2024, and over 100% over the last 6 months, it has been able to outperform the Bitcoin ETF of purpose over the last 3 years because it has a better drawdown in period of high recession. However, with no surprise, this fund is also considered by both Morningstar and Purpose as being some extremely volatile and high-risk fund. But the great news for the Canadian investors is that this fund is also available in Canadian dollars for about $18 per share at the moment. Finally, the last fund on my list is the CI Galaxy Multi-Crypto ETF with the ticker CMXCW. On its side, this fund is a bit different compared to the two other ones on my list because it wants exposure to different digital assets, including but not limited to the Bitcoin and the Ethereum. It means that the assets of this fund will be chosen by the fund manager, and it will include obviously the Bitcoin and the Ethereum, but not only that. In that way, it could be a very interesting way for investors to invest not only in Bitcoin and Ethereum for the future, but also in other different cryptos that could occur to become pretty important. However, on their side, this fund that has been created at the beginning of 2021 only has about $5 million of assets under its management, and so it makes it quite less popular and less liquid compared to the two first picks on my list. Unfortunately, also we can see that their MER is quite higher than the two first ones, with an MER of about 1.50% or $150 of annual fees for an investment of $10,000 in it. And just like for the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETF, we can see that this one is also considered with some high level of risk. But fortunately, since 1 year, we can see that it has been able to achieve some great performance of about 87% of annualized return. And since the beginning of 2024, their total return has been of about 32%. And since the last 6 months, it has been of about 85%. Since the inception of this fund in 2021, we can see that this fund has been able to outperform the Bitcoin ETF with some total annualized return of about 12% on average per year, which would have transformed your initial $10,000 investment to about $14,000 nowadays. So there you have it. Those are the 3 best Canadian crypto ETFs that you can buy right now on the stock market. Since the concept of crypto is pretty new, it means that obviously there are not a lot of ETFs at the moment on the market. However, these 3 funds are the ones that are giving you the most exposure to the important cryptos on the market right now with the lowest management fees. Personally, if I had to build a crypto portfolio with these 3 funds, I'd put about 50% of my assets in the Bitcoin ETF, and after I'd put 40% into the Ethereum ETF, and the rest would be put in the mixed crypto ETF. At the end of the day, keep in mind that these crypto investments are extremely volatile, but on your side, if you want to find a safest way to invest your money to make it grow as much as possible on the long term, well, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace!